Hi, and welcome to the second part of the ultimate guide to sketching supplies for beginning urban sketchers. In this video, we will talk about pencils. We will discuss the different grades of graphite pencils and how they affect the quality of the line. We will also briefly mention the other types of pencils that can be useful for urban sketching, such as mechanical pencils. Okay, so the graphite pencils are the most common type of pencils used for drawing and sketching. They are made of graphite mixed with clay, then shaped into a slender cylinder and wrapped in wood. The wood is there so you can grip the pencil and also sharpen it when it gets dull. Some pencils may be made of lower quality wood that can impact the performance and durability of the pencil. The quality of the wood can affect how well the pencil sharpens, how easily the lead breaks, and how comfortable the pencil is to hold and use. Lower quality wood may be more likely to split or break during sharpening, which can be frustrating and lead to wasted pencils. Okay, I have here a set of a few different pencils and you're probably wondering how to choose the right one for your needs. The main difference between them is their hardness. The hardness of graphite pencils is measured on a scale known as the HB scale. The scale ranges from very hard to very soft, with HB being the middle point. The hardness of the graphite is indicated by a number. You can find it on each pencil ranging from 9H, very hard, to 9B, very soft. I have here a small set, so the range is a little bit smaller. But you can see here on this pencil, for example, this is 2H, and it's a very hard pencil. You have even harder pencils, but I think this one is quite hard. So let's try it. H pencils are hard and produce light lines that are somehow very difficult to erase. Let me show you. For example, if I draw something here, it's very difficult to erase them. Really. Whoa. And I still can't erase it completely. And I need to say that a common mistake beginning artists make is using too hard pencils. As a result, a lack of depth and texture in the sketches. Also, the lines appear flat and lifeless, as you can see. If you don't press harder, then the lines are quite light and not very lively. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend H pencils for sketching. B pencils are soft and produce dark lines that are easier to erase. Let me show you. For example, the 2B pencil. Of this one, HB, a very soft one. Very dark lines. And let me show you. This is very easy to erase. Maybe the softest one is a little bit more difficult to erase. Okay, so the very dark one is more difficult to erase. However, this one, 2B, is easier to erase. It's the easiest one to erase, actually. And let me show you how you actually can use soft pencils. For sketches like this, for example, it's much easier to draw livelier, more impressive sketches. Or, for example, this one, with the softer pencil, you can vary the line, the thickness of the line. So you can draw very, very thin lines, very light lines, but at the same time, you also can draw lines like this. I used here two different pencils, 2B pencil and 4B pencil. Okay, so the B pencils are great for shading, toner work and creating textures. There is one disadvantage: they can smudge quite easily, especially the very soft ones. But let me show you how to use soft pencils in your sketch, what they actually can. I have here a 2B pencil, and if I want to draw a very light line, a very thin line, I just don't press that much on the pencil. I draw very soft, very light. But if I want to create a darker line, I press a little bit harder and I lay my pencil a little bit more flat. Or I also can do this and make the line even darker and press harder, and the lines are thicker, so I can vary the line, and I also can play in my sketches with the thicknesses and the darkness of the lines. Or for example, I also can press on the pencil while I draw one line, like this. Or if I use a softer pencil, this one for example, I also can draw very, very thin lines, and then I press harder and it's thicker line here. And I also can do some shading. It's very versatile and it's very beautiful in use. Okay, so we'll also have HB pencils, and these pencils are middle ground between the H and the B and are great for general sketching and drawing. However, even if the HB scale is standardized, some brands make them harder than others. So I would recommend using at least 2B pencils in your sketches. They are soft, but not too soft, easy to erase and produce great lines, as we saw before. However, it's also important to experiment with different grades of pencils to find the right balance between light and dark tones for yourself. Using a softer pencil like 2B or 4B can help create a range of tones and add depth to your sketches. But if you're a beginner, it will be more difficult for you to use softer pencils because they smudge easily and make the sketch difficult to control. So, for example, if you want to draw some shadows, you can see that they smudge very easily. Okay, now let's talk about other sorts of pencils. Mechanical pencils are also a popular choice for urban sketching because they don't require sharpening and come in a variety of lead sizes. I have here, for example, this mechanical pencil, which I like a lot, and I used it for drawing this sketch. And as you can see, it's a watercolor sketch. So before coloring, I made this sketch with this 2B pencil, and I colored it completely, and then I added all these details here like stones and grass with this pencil. And yeah, I think that's a good way to add some details to your sketches. Okay, so I also have oh, let me show you the line that it produces actually. So it's a very thin line, and there is not that much variety in the line, so you can make it a little bit darker, but you can't really sketch with it. So it's more for details and not really for exciting sketches. This pencil, however, is a little bit different. It's also a mechanical pencil, and the lead is much thicker, of course. But this one is actually quite good. You also can draw very thin line, but you also can press much harder and draw thicker lines, and you also can lay it down and make lines like this, or even do shading. And it's a really great pencil for this kind of thing. So really convenient on location. I don't use it that much. I don't know why, but it's actually I should. I also have this monolith graphite woodless pencil, and it's a pure graphite stick protected by a thin coating. And let me show you what you can do with it. You also can draw very thin lines. However, they are less thin than when you draw with this pencil, for example, or even with this pencil. It's a much softer pencil actually. But you also can press harder and then create darker lines, and you also can do shading with it. It's great for shading, absolutely. But there is one big disadvantage. They smudge very easily. So if you do this, or if you do like this, you are drawing here something, and your whole drawing is fading away. I don't know if it's a very good choice, but I actually like this pencil for the softness. But I think this is quite difficult to use for beginners. And the last sort of pencils I want to talk about are colored pencils, and they also can be useful for urban sketching, especially if you want to add color to your sketches. And they come in a range of colors and can be used for shading and adding textures as well. And I have a video where I show how I use colored pencils in my urban sketches. So if you're interested in them, take a look and let me know what you think. Okay, so thanks for watching. We've covered the different grades of graphite pencils and how they affect the quality of your lines, as well as the advantages and disadvantages of the different types of pencils, such as mechanical and woodless pencils. Remember, choosing the right pencil for your sketching needs is crucial. So the next time you are at the art store, take a closer look at the different grades of pencils and experiment with them to find what works best for you. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more urban sketching tips and tricks. Until next time, happy sketching!